be no anthem as it was played in the previous game. Let's play some soccer.
We will have a high five line here to start this game, much as we did with the previous matchup. But we are just about ready to get things started here in our state tournament quarterfinal. I am now a lot warmer than I was at our previous game because I ran to my car and grabbed my winter jacket. Didn't think I'd be needing it up here in the press box. We do have a window open so our camera can go through. But yeah, it is not ideal tonight. Feels like temperatures of 30 degrees. The wind is still circulating and just freezing us here. And you wonder what sort of an impact that'll have on tonight's game. The champions of Section 5, Providence Academy, versus the champions of Section 2, Albert Lea. You're watching NSPN. I'm Carl Warner. We're about ready to get things started.
Looks like even fewer girls wearing leggings out there for this contest.
And as we noticed in the early game this evening between La Crescent, Hoka, and Watertown, almost none of the players on the field are wearing any attire that they wouldn't be wearing in August for our freezing temperatures. Didn't seem to be much of an issue for athletes staying warm, at least the ones that were on the field moving around. The ones on the bench, definitely a different story. Here we go. State tournament quarterfinal underway from Farmington High School. I'm Carl Warner. We got Albert Lea and we got Providence Academy. If you're just joining us tonight, the story of this game is going to heavily revolve around number 30 in blue, Madden Greenway. One of the best high school athletes in the country. She has 52 goals this season coming into tonight, 11 assists. And then Beckett Greenway, 17 goals, 18 assists. The assists in that category leads the team. So the pair of Greenways tonight looking to book their ticket to the U.S. Bank Stadium semifinal next Wednesday. And I promise to only say this one or two times tonight, but yes, Greenway, the daughter of Vikings former linebacker Chad Greenway. I can't imagine how awesome it was to watch this girls' team win the state championship at U.S. Bank Stadium last year, the same place where he played linebacker for those years with the Vikings. And of course, this Providence Academy team is the defending Class A state champions. Looking to repeat this year. They've won the state basketball championship in Class AA 3 years in a row. And Madden was recruited heavily across the country, but she ended up deciding to go with Kentucky for women's basketball. So she'll be calling the SEC home. Nonetheless, Albert Lea wearing the all-white tonight. Greenway and the rest of the Lions wearing the navy blue. These schools are 1 hour, 40 minutes away from each other across the span of 107 miles. 37 minutes remaining in the first half. Of course, Albert Lea, as one of the Tigers hits the deck. That was Haley Austinson, a little slow to get up now. Hobbling a little bit, they're going to make sure that she's okay. And looks like she is. Play will resume here. Throw in coming from Peyton Seeger. And now it's Greenway. Look at that speed. Oh my goodness. Greenway flying up the field like a 747. There's the shot. Oh my goodness. What did we just see? Have you ever seen a high school player do that? Oh my goodness. Turning on the Jets here in this below freezing weather. Stepping around another. Greenway tried to make some space, but it was defended by Albert Lee. Let's talk about this playoff run for Providence Academy. Of course, they are the defending state champions. They beat Southwest Christian 1-0 in the state championship last year. They beat St. Charles in the state semifinal. In the playoffs last year, the Lions had an overall playoff run of 18 goals and only 2 goals given up. In the state tournament run alone, it was 11 goals scored, only 1 given up. Still scoreless tonight between the Lions and the Tigers. And a Tiger is down, but now picks herself up. Greenway here on the short side tried to go 5-hole. And getting on top of that was Haley Wallace. The senior goaltender wearing teal tonight. Wallace in net for the Tigers tonight. Tigers only giving up 3 goals this entire season. However, they've only scored 33. Providence Academy, on the other hand, has scored 101 goals this season. They've given up 17. We have a stoppage on the field here. And Madden Greenway is having a conversation with their official. And if I'm not mistaken, we're going to get a free kick here. We're going to get a free kick for Greenway. Or another player on Providence Academy. It looks like it's going to be Beckett Greenway, the freshman. So it's Beckett Greenway with a free kick here. Could get us started in the scoring. Greenway sets up, and a save was made by Wallace, but now Greenway gets it back, and she scores! Beckett Greenway, the freshman, makes it 1-0 Providence Academy. She got a rebound back after that amazing save by Wallace. But nonetheless, it is 1-0. And now will Albert Lee get back into this game? That will be the question for the next 73 minutes.
Going Tigers.
Albert Lee has put a little bit of pressure on Audrey Steves, but not quite enough just yet. Providence Academy, west of 494, private school between Maple Grove and Plymouth in the Northwest Metro. And for anybody who wants to save themselves a Google search, tuition for high schoolers is $22,000 a year. I'm sure financial aid is always available as well. Nonetheless, Albert Lee, they are just down the highway here, about 20 minutes north of the Iowa border on 35, as Greenway, with blazing speed, makes it a 2-0 game. Madden Greenway on easy mode right now. the Greenway's trying to get those buses warmed up to head back down I-35.
See, this might turn into a boat race real fast.
So that is the 53rd goal of the season for Madden Greenway. This year in the Section 5 tournament, Providence Academy defeated Fridley in the quarterfinal 14-0 at home. Semifinal victory 9-0 against Breck. And then a section championship victory against Heritage Christian 4-1. They have been dominant. Only giving up one goal. They've scored. It's almost just unfathomable to think of. If I'm doing my math correctly, 13 plus 4, 27. Their playoff run so far is, counting this game, 29-1 in scoring. Albert Lea, on the other hand, they have a much more, character-building season. They started their season 3-6-3. That took them to the 25th of September. But get this, they're 6-1-0 since. They won their section quarterfinal 5-0 against Mankato Loyola at home. But then they went on the road, beat Fairmont 3-1. And then in the final, they upset Cannon Falls at Austin, beating them 3-0. So Albert Lea, who was the 3 seed in Section 2, they ended up winning Section 2. And now they got a chance to maybe get back in this game tonight against Providence Academy and earn a trip to US Bank Stadium. Speaking of Albert Lea, one of those teams that's constantly good at women's hockey as well in Class A. Down to the turf goes Greenway, but she picks herself right back up. And a free kick is on the way. Providence Academy, 15-3-1 on the season. Finished second out of 5th place in the IMAC, only behind Blake. It'll be Madden Greenway with the free kick from the 12-yard line. Here she comes. Nice block. That was blocked by number 12, Adava Warrington, as Haley Wallace nearly fell backwards into the net, but she recovered. You're watching State Soccer 25 on NSPN. In this Class A quarterfinal tonight at Farmington High School, neutral site. So grateful for the Farmington Tigers and this amazing neutral site environment tonight, despite the less than amazing weather. You know, I've been able to, as we watched that kickoff there from Audrey Steves, I've been able to speak to Keith Badger, the activities director here at Farmington High School, a couple times tonight, and I asked him how he's doing, and I asked him if he was staying warm, and he said trying to, but he said he's glad that we're all dry down there on the field. Remember, earlier this afternoon it was raining cats and dogs here in Minnesota, and it's bad enough down on the field right now for these athletes with the temperature and the wind, but combining that with rain would have made the conditions just borderline hypothermic, if that's even a word. Nonetheless, Albert Lea, they drove 77 miles to be here tonight, 1 hour, 14 minutes up I-35. Providence Academy, on the other hand, they drove 50 minutes, 39 miles from Farmington. Centering pass, and it's handled by Haley Wallace. 27 minutes to go in our first half of action on the Neighborhood Sports Network. We already saw one team punch their ticket to U.S. Bank Stadium earlier tonight. Watertown Mayor defeating La Crescent Hoka. They will face the winner of St. Cloud Cathedral and St. Paul Academy and Summit School. It feels like we're playing a little bit more of a relaxed pace. Ever since those two goals. Opening wide here. That shot from Elise Jensen off the mark. I'm Carl Warner up in the broadcast booth tonight here on NSPN. As Providence Academy tries to add on to their lead, Beckett Greenway now. Up the field, wanted her teammate Elise. Now it's Madden Greenway slamming on the brakes and nearly slammed in a goal. And I was on the field before the game getting some coverage for social media, and I was down there about 10 yards away or so from where Providence Academy was warming up, and you could just tell that from the moment they started warming up, their communication with each other was clear, concise, motivated, and none of the players on Providence Academy, more than Madden Greenway, were as focused, clear, concise, and just leading. And you can tell exactly why she is such a high-level high school athlete. Speaking of which, here she is on the far side trying to keep this ball in bounds. Yes, she does. Centering pass back towards the middle. And looks like they were offsides. Head coach of the Providence Academy Lions, Ellen Moran. Head coach of Albert Lee, Amy Wisholes. Two very different stories of the season bringing us to this game here tonight. Between these teams that rarely, if ever, play each other, and that ball hit the top of the soccer crossbar. It did not hit the field goal upright. Remember, if it would have hit the field goal upright, that would have been out of play. (23-21) to play here in the first half between Providence Academy and Albert Lee. The last Minnesota stop before you hit the Iowa border. And now the Tigers are trying to hit Steves. Nice defense played by Providence Academy. And we talked about this during the early game, but you genuinely, you do have to think about how the you have to think about how it could be impacted tonight when it comes to running up and down the field in these freezing temperatures. If it's just a little bit harder to breathe, obviously these players traveling miles during the game up and down. Greenway tried to get a hold of that one, but now the Lions stay aggressive on defense. And here's Greenway on the far sideline, walks in the shot, taking her time, picking her spot, and it hits the east side of the net. Nice crowd out here tonight to catch the action of tonight's game. Everybody bundled up in their winter coats. I see a couple of leather windbreakers. Otherwise, we've had a very interesting October. We started this month with 90-degree temps, and now we're down to freezing. Anything can happen in Minnesota. As Albert Lee still trails by 2 with 21 minutes to play. Checking on the weather here for the next few days. Looks like we will be getting back up into the high 50s next week, but for the rest of this week, looks like we'll be in the high 40s. As behind the scenes, Bella Schaefer for Providence Academy had to retire her shoe after she blew out a tire. Now the Lions are going to get a free kick, and it's going to come off the foot of Beckett Greenway. A little bit further than it needed to be. Our goaltenders tonight wearing very similar colors, but Audrey Steves wearing the brighter blue. Under the lights here at Farmington High School tonight in this state tournament quarterfinal live on NSPN. Nearly had a collision there here on the near side with Albert. And players on both benches just doing whatever it takes to stay warm. We've got several different huddles on the Providence Academy bench. A lot of different blankets out there. And we've got plenty of big jackets and blankets on the Albert Lee side of things too, but a majority of the Albert Lee bench is standing up. Same cannot be said about Providence Academy. Sharp shot from Greenway, but it's going to go far wide.
Ladies and gentlemen, the students of the state of Minnesota State High School League, mind you, the whole time standards for yourself.
18 minutes remaining in the first half here from Providence Academy. sharply drilled just over the head and just over the net
Tigers.
of Haley Wallace. Scooped up by Wallace. Down the field on the far side, Albert Lee trying to knock on the door of scoring their first goal. Down to the 32, rolling back towards the 50 before Madden Greenway gets it back in motion. Now here she goes on the near side, blazing by defenders. She's all alone. She's got a couple more in front of her. Now here she's got the shot, and she scores! 50 yards and the finish. Madden Greenway. The highlight reel keeps producing. 3-0 Providence Academy.
Providence Academy, number 30, Madden Green.
She started that play by passing it back to her teammate, but then that action set up the pass back to herself, and she just used that speed to go 50 yards to the finish. Game-breaking abilities. And this isn't even her primary sport. Think about that. And she shows no signs of slowing down. Providence Academy looking to score their fourth goal of the game. Going down the sidelines, Bella Schaefer. Into the hands of Wallace. Under 15 minutes to play in the first half of action. Down the sideline for Lindsay Hutt.
Rowan Lambs.
That'll be a corner kick for Providence Academy. And you wonder at what point the Lions will put on cruise control here, if ever. Beckett Greenway to get this one away. In a good spot. Will they get the kick away? Looks like they won't. Greenway on the ground, scooped up by Wallace. Haven't seen much action tonight. From Haley Austinson or Evelyn Ravenhorst for Albert Lee, two of their primary goal scorers. It's just been all Tigers to this point in the game. It would be 3 points in football, but this is just going to be a goal kick now for Wallace. 10 minutes remaining in the first half here from Farmington in this state tournament quarterfinal game. Winner moving on to U.S. Bank Stadium. And Albert Lee is right now buried. Oh! Kind of a nasty fall there for Haley Austinson. I think she may have lost her balance, but looks like she's good to go now. Everything in this game just looks so much harder for all the athletes because of the temperatures down there, because of the setting. You're watching NSPN State Soccer 25. Spinning around. Booking up to the 40. And that kick is going to sail west of the goal. 8:13 p.m. local here in Farmington. This game started at 7:30. And it looks like Beckett Greenway will take yet another corner kick here. Something she's done many times in this game up to this point. Deflected, unable to get behind Wallace, but now Greenway has it just on the corner of the box, but she sends it wide. we've been focusing a lot on the Providence Academy offense, as we should. I mean, just look at this play here. Greenway just took it up to the 10, but now they've retreated a little bit. Schaefer. Sharp kick blocked by Albert Lee. But the defense for Providence, especially in the middle of the field, has been amazing as well, keeping the possession with Providence Academy. Albert Lee has just been really just suffocated this entire game up to this point. 6 minutes to go here in the first half.
In for the Tigers, number 10, Margaret Schultz, number 12, Adava Warrington, and number 14, Casey Peters.
Albert Lee will have the throw-in with Peyton Seeger. Putting some serious oomph into that one. And another throw-in for Seeger. Beckett Greenway was unable to reach that one. Moving through the middle of the field. Nice moves put on. But it was taken away. Taken away from Gokson. Or Giskison, excuse me. And now here's Greenway again. And the save is made. No, that was in the back of the net. My goodness. It is 4-0. And I just thought by the reaction of Haley Wallace that it was a save, but just the look of defeat. And that'll be a hat trick for Madden Greenway here in the first half. And again, it looks easy. Under 5 to go in the first half. As guess who has it on her foot again? Ripping that one back towards Wallace. And again, this isn't all on Wallace right now. This Albert Lee team has just been outpaced from the very beginning by Providence Academy. And you could even tell during warm-ups that the way that Providence Academy was approaching warm-ups was just so intentional. And the way that Albert Lee was warming up was just a lot more less paced, if you would. And now the Tigers will have a free kick here. Which is weird to say at this stadium, obviously, because the Tigers are the Farmington mascot. So it's weird to talk about a Tiger team that isn't wearing orange and white. Lindsey Hutt trying to pass it into Greenway as she makes her own run. But now Greenway takes a Tiger to the ground, and that's going to be a free kick. Not too difficult to spot there. Down to the 30.
Lion throwing.
Now it's Greenway. Almost found the header with Lindsey Hutt. Under 2 minutes to play in the first half in what has just been a total control from the Lions. Hughes punts it in, and Wallace scoops it up. Under 90 seconds. And the Tigers now just looking for anything to get going. Peyton Seeger using her hands a little bit. 15 seconds to play in the first half of action.
10 seconds. 9, 8.
It'll be 4-0 Providence Academy at the half.
There's a new destination for all things Minnesota high school sports. It's called Strib Varsity. It's from the Minnesota Star Tribune, so you know it's trusted. With a deep bench to cover all of Minnesota. We've rebuilt and relaunched our MM Prep hubs and added more sports. Stories, streams, stats, scores, schedules. We have it all at Strib Varsity. Subscribe today at startribune.com/stribvarsity.
Sorry, guys, I took over your spot. Oh, no, I didn't. No, you're good.
We welcome you back to Farmington, where Providence Academy has a 4-0 lead at the half. You know, throughout our state tournament coverage, we like to get to know the towns, schools, and communities outside the playing field with our school snapshots. Here's Ryan Phelps to talk about Albert Lea.
The city of Albert Lea, which is located just over 90 miles due south of the Twin Cities, was named after Albert Miller Lea, who was a topographer working for the United States Dragoons to officially survey areas of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa in 1835. He surveyed the current site of the city alongside Captain Nathan Boone, a son of Daniel Boone, and the city was founded in 1855. 2 years later, the first public school was founded, and in 1914, Albert Lea High School was established. The city can claim as their own many notable former residents, including musician Eddie Cochran, famous for the song Summertime Blues, a politician willing to help those old enough to vote, former U.S. Representative Tim Penny, and actress Marion Ross, who starred in the television series Happy Days. But there's no jumping the shark when it comes to education in this southern Minnesota city. Albert Lea High School educates over 1,200 students and offers over 120 courses to choose from. The school emphasizes real-world experience, where students can earn credit and, in some cases, wages as well. There are also over 30 extracurricular activities that students can participate in. The Tigers have seen some success recently, with a state tourney qualifier in girls hockey in 2022 and boys wrestling in 24. In all, Albert Lea can claim 8 Minnesota State High School League team championships.
And now let's watch the snapshot for Providence Academy.
Just a sweet 16 miles northwest of downtown Minneapolis, in the city of Plymouth, you'll find Providence Academy. It's been open a quarter of a century now and is one of the few independent Catholic prep schools in the nation. Principal Kurt Yeager says it's no surprise when it comes to the foundation which the school was built on.
You know, our motto is faith, knowledge, virtue, and the faith part of it, you know, there can be some visible ways you see it. We do have daily mass here. We do have a chaplain assigned by the Archdiocese, a priest who's here all day, every day. We do have a couple of Dominican religious sisters, one who teaches second grade, one who teaches middle school, so that we have that presence. Our morning begins with prayer every day. At noon, there's a here, and we all stop what we're doing regardless of where we are and pray the Our Father together.
A rigorous course in religion highlights what, for the most part, is a fairly typical curriculum. The school is pre-K through 12, with 348 students in 9th grade and up. Besides strong academics and athletics, the Lions also roar in other activities, with a jewel in the crown being their Performing Arts Center, which was built in 2016.
Is probably the outside of the professional theaters, you know, like the Guthrie in the Twin Cities, is probably the finest performing arts theater area that you're going to find, with a full orchestra pit and just a really great setup, and seats about 700. It's a really great space, and we use it for a lot of things.
But the students themselves are the true stars of Providence Academy, with the principal providing words of wisdom and motivation.
And I always tell kids, so when you think about this culture and what we're trying to build here, don't be good, be great, and immerse yourself in the culture. If you want to have a great experience here, that's the way to do it. And we want kids that want to really aspire to just immerse in what we're trying to do. And I think we have that. I think we've got a really great culture here.
Welcome back to Providence Academy. No, we're in Farmington tonight. 4 minutes to go before we get to halftime here tonight. Before we end our halftime. And yes, we'll be right back on NSPN for the conclusion of this game. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Farmington. Looks like Providence Academy will get us kicked off. They'll be moving right. They'll be moving left to right in this half. Albert Lee going right to left. Ball placed on top of the E in the Tiger Paw print, and away we go. Already on the foot of Greenway, and she takes a hard fall. Face planting, but she picks herself right back up. And now it'll be Beckett Greenway to take this free kick. From the 25-yard line. She scored the first goal of the game. And then Madden has scored the 3 since. Here's Beckett. And Madden got in there, disrupted Haley Wallace, and it did float wide. It is 8:35 p.m. local. We have 39 minutes remaining in tonight's game. Centering pass, tried to get it to Greenway, now it's on the ground, and Wallace scoops it up. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, it's 4-0 in favor of Providence Academy, and at this point, these 38 minutes almost feel like a formality, as the defending state champions have come to play tonight. They didn't just come to play, they came to win. Oh, and the ball hits off the head of our official. And it looks like we have a little bit of a short apology there from Beckett Greenway. Ball's put back in play. And now Madden Greenway just slipped behind the defenders for her 4th goal of the night. She's invisible, has super speed, and a flawless touch with her boot. Her 56th goal of the season. And yes, you heard me correctly. It's 5-0, and the Madden Greenway experience continues. In case anybody thought the gas was going to be stepped off, the answer is no. Here comes Greenway again. She's stepping through defenders. Here's the shot. No, she slams on the brakes. It's still in her possession. They can't get it away from her. It's like glue. And now Beckett's got it. There's the shot it redirected, and it's going to go out of play. 5-0 Providence Academy as our ball chaser team sets things up. Beckett Greenway, the corner kick specialist for Providence Academy, takes another one. Here in the second half. 36 minutes to play. We got the hats on, winter coats on, here on October 21st, 2025. Freezing feels like temperatures down on the field with this heavy wind continuing. And another goal is scored. And you'll never guess who scored. I'm not even going to say her name. You already know who scored. Her 5th goal of the night. 57th of the season. And we make sure to put our 6th goal up here on the scoreboard just to really make sure Albert Lee knows how many there are. And at this point in the game, you have to think that Amy Washoles and the Tigers are aware of their fate tonight. A season where they started 3-6-3, and they've won 6 of their last 7 games, propelling them on this 5-game winning streak all the way to the state quarterfinals. There's nothing to be ashamed of for Albert Lee. They picked up a section championship this year, the champions of Section 2, in a season that they'll never forget. The Providence Academy, the defending state champions, is the draw that they got. It was a random draw. And now it's Madden Greenway up the Farmington sideline. There's the shot. There's the goal. Number 6 on the night. It never stops. It's bullying at this point. I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's unreal. Albert Lee has almost just given up. And yes, we've been in running time ever since it was 5-0. In this Class A quarterfinal game, Beckett Greenway now showing off her speed. She breaks through defenders, still moving, but now it's broken up. Nice moves from Michaela Green. Throw in coming now for the Lions. Speaking of Lions, the Detroit Lions are on their bye week this week. Their next game will be home in Detroit against the Vikings on November 3rd. Right now that game is scheduled to be played at noon, and quite honestly, I'm not too big of a fan of that. And it's not because I have unskippable work at noon on that Sunday. It's just because, the Vikings and Lions are one of these rivalries over the last couple of years that have just been deserving of prime time, and everyone in the country deserves to watch that game. So hopefully Fox or NBC flexes it to Sunday Night Football. If you're wondering, I think it won't get flexed to 3:30 because CBS already has Bills Chiefs at 3:30 that day. And I think CBS executives would not be too happy if Fox counter-programmed Bills Chiefs with anything. Greenway falls down to the ground, picks herself up again. And we've seen that often tonight, and it's not something that you don't see in other players, but Madden Greenway, as hard as she plays, she's taken a lot of hard falls in this game too, and she just bounces right back up. And not just getting up, she springs back to her feet, right back in the play. 31 minutes remaining in this, I don't know what else you call it, but a blowout of Albert Lee tonight. It has been all Providence Academy. The Lions have scored 34 goals on this playoff run so far. Looking for number 35 right now. And they'll get it. And I believe it went off of Madden Greenway's head, but it was a wonderfully placed corner kick from Beckett. It's not 9, it's 8. There we go. 7th consecutive goal for Madden Greenway personally. Goal number 59 on the year. Her next goal would be a 60 burger on the season. I don't know, I think Albert Lee, they still have a lot to play for tonight, but definitely pride. And who else to go for this corner kick but Beckett Greenway? The formula works. Here's the corner kick, the header, and it went wide. And the energy from this Providence Academy team just never slows down. Corner kick coming up for Beckett once again. This has to be about the 12th one tonight. Of course, I don't have the official number in front of me, but that's what it feels like. Beckett Greenway sends that one to a dangerous spot. It's still on the ground, and now it's in the net. And who scored this time? I'm not. I'll check. I'm checking with our PA announcer. Do we know who got that one? We have a different Providence Academy goal scorer. Number 8, Elise Jensen. Elise Jensen scoring the goal for Providence Academy. That is a good sight to see. That other players on this Lions team are getting involved with 27 minutes to go. It has just poured on the Tigers. "25 minutes to play here on the turf at Farmington Tiger Stadium tonight on NSPN. Providence Academy. They will face the winner of Esco and St. Croix Prep. That game happening at White Bear Lake tomorrow. So yes, Esco, St. Croix Prep, the winner of that game will face Providence Academy Wednesday, October 29th at 5 p.m. at US Bank Stadium, the home of the Minnesota Vikings. Here's Madden Greenway again. And that ends up in the back of the net. The play made by Greenway, but it was completed by her teammate. It is 10-0 Providence Academy. This is a state tournament game. This is not a section game. This is not a section first round game or a second round game. This is a state tournament quarterfinal. Providence Academy, what a game. It was Elise Jensen again. So a 10-burger has been put up on Albert Lee. We got ourselves a low-scoring football score here in Farmington. And at this point for Providence Academy, if you're head coach Amy Wischoles, you have to think to yourself, the rest of this game is simply about figuring out who the leaders on your team are. Because in this situation, when you're down by 10 in a playoff game, you know that season is basically over at this point after all the highs, especially of this last winning streak they've been on. The players who show the most effort in this spot right now, in this mountainous spot, are the players that are going to be your role models, especially the ones who aren't seniors and who still have time to be on the team next year. Beckett Greenway. And that's going to be sent far wide. Jordan Earl into the game, number 15 for the Albert Lee Tigers. Their 5-game winning streak most certainly coming to an end tonight. And both of our starting goaltenders are in the game. You know, I must say, I think that Audrey Steves deserves a little bit more attention. She's had a pretty boring night tonight. Audrey Steves, the junior, wearing the bright blue jersey in net tonight for Providence Academy. I don't know if Albert Lee has a single shot on goal. I mean, Providence Academy has basically kept the ball at least 20 yards away from Steves the whole night, at bare minimum. And I think that's another thing I'm impressed with about Providence Academy right now is the fact of the matter is that they're not resting on their laurels. They're not just playing conservative mode, passing the ball around in their own defensive zone. They are wanting to score more goals. They're up 10 to nothing, and they want more. This is a state tournament team, if I've ever seen one. Hit the top of the crossbar, did not go in.
Tiger goal kick.
And now this is a rare miscue from the Lions as it went back to their own 40. They have basically just lived in their offensive zone tonight. Albert Lee just unable to string anything of substance together. And we commend the incredible crew at NSPN TV for bringing you all the action tonight here in the State Soccer 25 on NSPN. Beckett Greenway, her shot was thwarted.
Going Tigers.
Sent all the way down to field, back to Wallace. 17 minutes to play here in this state tournament quarterfinal. Sent all the way back, nearly into the net.
Goal kick. Tigers.
Madden Greenway still trying to get those headers. Here in the second half of action, Providence Academy have scored 6 goals. On the ground, saved by Wallace, and she swims and dives on it. 15 minutes to play here in this 10-0 game that will send Providence Academy to the state tournament semifinals. Long shot in from Beckett Greenway, and it finds the net. 11-0 off the foot of Beckett Greenway. That's her second goal of the night. Down to 13 minutes to play. Down to the 35-yard line, Albert Lee trying to put together a final 11 minutes that they can be proud of. We're here at Farmington Tiger Stadium tonight. The Tiger football team will be playing Edina on Friday, up at Edina, the first round of the 6A football playoffs. I'll be calling that game for NSPN. And, yeah, it's going to be a great weekend of sports on the Neighborhood Sports Network. And a lot of questions have been answered tonight about how real this Providence Academy team is. And I tell you what, if I am Esco or St. Croix Prep right now, I'd be terrified. I would be petrified thinking about the idea of playing this Providence Academy team next Wednesday at US Bank Stadium. They are good, good. Just completely uncorked tonight. It is 9:05 local here in Farmington, Minnesota. We've been on running time for basically the entire second half. And Beckett sends it down the field. Under 9 to play. And that found the upper right corner. What a snipe! Beckett Greenway. How did she do that? Beckett Greenway. That was unfair. Not a bad night in the Greenway household. And again, like, it needs to be said how the Lions have made virtually no substitutions this entire game. Their starting roster has basically been out there the whole time throughout this blowout. I mean, honestly, if I was a player in this game, I'd prefer to stay on the field strictly because it would keep myself warmer on these, freezing conditions down there. But of course, the last thing that Providence Academy needs here is a serious injury in this garbage time to any of their star players. Seven minutes remaining here at Farmington at this beautiful complex. Finished in 2009, the new Farmington Tiger Stadium. And that hit the crossbar too. That nearly went in. This is going to roll all the way back to the Tiger Eye. And a substitution is coming in for Providence Academy. How about that? So Michaela Green is coming out. And Lily Sabers, the junior defenseman, is into the game. Number 4. 5 minutes to play. And now another shot finds the back of the net. What is going on? I've run out of words. This is Harlem Globetrotters style out here. Give it up for number 13. And
Scoring for the Lions, number 13, Greta Reitz.
Greta Reitz is the goal scorer this time. And, I mean, I understand devil's advocate can be played on both sides here. And I understand that it's everyone in this game wants to play their best. And there's a reason why I'm up here in the booth and not coaching, but I don't know how I feel about Providence Academy continuing to put this on up by 13 now. I feel like, well, I guess that's up for anyone's interpretation. Oh my goodness, what on earth? What are we watching? Did that just happen? Again for Beckett Greenway. And these aren't tip-in goals. These aren't broadside of a barn. These are trick shot goals. What is going on here? This is almost unspeakable. I've never seen anything like this. 14-0. For those counting along at home, 11 goals tonight have been scored between the Greenways. 7 for Madden and 4 for Beckett. 2 minutes to go in the game. We thank you for sticking with us on NSPN tonight, and while we still have time, I do want to give some more flowers to Albert Lea. They started the season 3-6-3 into the 25th of September. Ever since, they are 6-1-0. On a 5-game winning streak, they won Section 2, bringing home the trophy as the 3 seed in the section playoffs. A huge, huge accomplishment for a team that lost in the section semifinals last year at Pine Island, Zumbrota, Mazeppa. But tonight, the story was Providence Academy. And at this point, I would be mortified to still be a team alive in this Class A state tournament, knowing that this Providence Academy team is out there. The Lions are 2 wins away from a second state championship in a row. But now watch out here. We have a corner kick and a rare scoring opportunity now for the Tigers. In from the corner, still on the ground looking to clear. Haven't cleared yet, 45 seconds in the game. Providence Academy has taken their show 50 minutes, 39 miles from the West Metro down to Farmington, and they laid the hammer on Albert Lea. They will once again play at the home of the Minnesota Vikings in a stadium that can seat 67,000 people. Next Wednesday, they will play at US Bank Stadium in the state semifinals. Providence Academy beats Albert Lee 14-0. They move on. What a game.